Lagos. Good evening to you and welcome to another episode of Practical Health Tips with Dr. Avon. And our doctor today is Dr. Obajimi Oluwatobiloba. We are discussing, he is here to discuss kidney health with us. Those of you that like spending the first half of your salary on drinks, you just go to a bar and declare, give all these people 10 bottles. Come closer to your radio. We listen and we definitely judge in this case because your health is concerned and your kidneys are important. Welcome, Doc.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Good evening, viewers at home, or listeners, at home, and good evening, everybody listening to me. Like she's rightly said, my name is Dr. Obajimi Oluwatobiloba.
Fantastic. Practical Health Tips with Dr. Avon is brought to you by Avon HMO. Avon HMO. You can find them on social media. They're on all social media platforms, on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram, and on Facebook at Avon HMO. You can also send them inquiries or questions to the email address practicaltips@avonhealthcare.com. practicaltips@avonhealthcare.com. Dr. Obajimi, let's get right into the conversation. Many people don't think about their kidney health until a major crisis happens. Why?
Well, it's quite simple. If you don't know the use of something, then you will definitely abuse it. So if you don't see the need for you to be careful with your kidney because you don't know what your kidney does, then you'll be careless with it. And I will need to explain what the kidney does so that we can actually have something that we can start with. So basically, the kidney is just like two organs on the two body that are responsible for virtual like almost everything in the body. But chief of it is basically it's responsible for filtration of the body. Now, when I mean filtration, as you are seated, as people are listening to me, as you are seated right now, the body is constantly producing toxins. Constantly producing waste product because there is a particular metabolic activity that's happening in the body that is constantly going on, and the body is constantly breaking something down to produce something like waste product. Now the kidney function to remove this waste product from the body. I getting it. So that's the chief function of the kidney. Others include the water balance of the body. We take in water, then we urinate. Why probably everything we are taking, why is it just not storing up in our body and everything is because of the kidney. Now we also have some electrolytes that are in the body that need to be balanced. Now if you take too much of it, it's definitely going to be detrimental to the body. If we take less, we have a way of actually adjusting it. But the kidney also helps in purifying so that we have a balanced electrolytes in the body. You understand? Then also it's also functioning in some hormones, for example, our blood production function there. Then also in some bone health, in our bone and everything is also actually peculiar with functioning of the bone and everything in that entails. So people won't really take serious need for it to be in good health because they really don't know what it does. You understand? So if they know what it's actually, then they will most likely do more of let us be careful in what we take, what we eat, and everything about the kidney.
Yes, Doc. Let's talk about the consequences of disregarding the kidneys.
Now, the consequence of disregarding the kidney is different. It's similar, like to everything. It's a bad thing. It's going to be a bad thing actually because the kidney will shut down. So if we disregard our kidney, then the kidney also will disregard you. And in this case, when the kidney disregard you in this context, then it's most likely like the kidney is not functioning again. So for us not to get to that point, we need to prevent it. Which is why I do what I do in Avon dialysis to try and make people prevent kidney shutdown. And people that actually have kidney shutdown, well, we try and so that the body won't shut down.
So let's look at some of the symptoms that indicates that the kidneys are shutting down.
Good. Now, kidney shutdown, it's something that happens over a long period of time in a subtle way. You won't notice it. Unlike malaria that you just come, you have headache, I have back pain, I have blah, 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 I have malaria. Then you use anti-malaria, then that's all. Kidney will not show you that it's having anything about breakdown until it's probably at the advanced stage, but there are some things you will notice. For example, now, if you are urinating, urine foams, but not in excess. But when you notice that your urine is foaming in excess, like it's as if you are putting no more inside water, then there's a problem. Now, when at the same time you start noticing that maybe you slept and you woke up with swollen face constantly, Now, as the day goes by, the swollen face goes down. We call it early morning facial puffiness. Now, when that happens, then there's something about your health that you need to put in check. Now, it can actually come with bilateral leg swelling. It's just something that your legs are swollen and heavy, and there's something going wrong, meaning that the water that should actually be coming out of the body is being settled somewhere.
Oh,
I getting it.
Okay.
Now, other things that you can actually see is you can actually feel that you're just feeling itchy. Body is just feeling itchy. You don't know the cause. Though I'm not saying itchiness it's definitely going to be kidney. It can be another thing, but you need to get checked. I getting it. Then also other thing that we can actually see is maybe you have nausea, you feel like vomiting, then you vomit. Then most times I hear majority people that I attend to in naval dialysis, they will tell you that they had malaria 2 weeks ago. Then less than a month they had malaria, and they were treating constantly. They're treating malaria. It's a red flag, meaning that there's something wrong. We can't treat malaria.
Deeper.
Exactly. And most time when we go through it, we do all our blood works, then we notice that most likely the kidney are not functioning perfectly.
Wow.
So meaning that there is no, I have headache, it is going to be malaria. No, it can actually be something else, especially when you're having all those things. Also, if the fluid actually settling in the chest, you can have difficulty in breathing. When you lie down, you find it difficult to breathe. It's only when you
feel like you're drowning.
Exactly, because you have fluids there. So it's only when you sit up that you now feel a little bit comfortable. At that point, you need to visit a doctor.
Wonderful. Let's talk about the risk factors that are associated with kidney problems.
Okay. Now, risk factors associated with kidney problems, well, like they would tell us in medical school, we have modifiable risk factors, we have non-modifiable risk factors.
Please speak English, doctor.
Well, I'm going to break it down definitely. Now we have some risk factors that lead to kidney disease. For example, now if you have a background disease like hypertension, like diabetes, now those are risk factors that we can manage so it won't progress to a kidney injury. Now, also when you abuse your kidney, you take alcohol anytime, you take high salt content, you just take everything takeable. Now, trust me, over time, it's not something that happened once. Over time, it can take 3 years, it can take 5 years, it can take 10 years, but constant insult to the kidney will lead to damage. I get me. So
yes,
if you can actually prevent what you eat, you can eat healthy, you understand, then the person will most likely have a good functioning kidney.
You mentioned a high salt intake.
Yes, please.
Doc, we Nigerians love our suya. We love our suya and kilishi.
I actually talking about my.
We love our stew spicy. You know, if it doesn't have a certain taste or flavor, that stew doesn't taste good. It's not well made. Talk to us about the impact of that, salt intake on the kidneys.
Good. Now, let me bring something down here. It's not until you take salt, like plenty salt, you understand that you have high salt diet, like high salt consumption in your body. Now we have, when you talk about this salt, what are we looking at in this salt? Remember I said something about the function of the kidney, that it helps in electrolyte balance. When I say we don't have to have plenty. Now, one of the examples I'm going to use there is sodium. Now, if you look at all our salt, they are majorly sodium. Now, there is a particular concentration of sodium that should not be that should not be more, that should not be in excess in the body. Now, when it is excess like that, the body flushes it out. Now, when you are saying sodium, I'm going to explain this. It's going to be a little bit technical, but I will try and break it down. When you are saying sodium, sodium will try to attract water to itself. Now, it's like saying that if you have high sodium in a bottle, and you want the bottle to have less concentration, you have to put more water, so it will attract water. So when we have high sodium content in the body, now what that does is that it attracts water to itself.
No wonder we feel thirsty after eating something with high salt.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now it will attract water to itself, and when that happens, now when there is high water content in the body, it increases the blood pressure. Now, like I said, one of the I don't know if I said it, one of the functions of the kidney is that they also regulate blood pressure. Because when the high water of the body, when the the water content of the body is high, then the kidney excretes just to bring it down so that the blood pressure will not be high.
Right.
Now, what happens is that when we have high sodium, we are going to have high water in the body, so in such a way that it will lead to high blood pressure. Now, when we lead to the high blood pressure, now there's what we call nephrons in the kidney. They are basic unit of the kidney. Now, inside these nephrons, we have blood vessels, like small blood vessels. Now, the blood vessels in the body goes there, like it's like a cycle. It goes there, so it will exchange. Like it will be a sieve. It will remove the impurity, remove the toxin, then excrete it out. They'll return the purified body back into the system. Now, when the blood pressure is now high because of the high sodium content, are you getting it? It damages the vessels. So it thickens the vessels.
Those nephrons that you mentioned.
Now, exactly. So it thinks, ultimately the nephrons will be damaged. Now, when the nephrons is damaged, that's the sad thing. There's no coming back. So at that point, we said the person is having chronic kidney disease.
Oh, now, that is when the disease has become chronic.
Exactly. Now, the point at which the insult was being given to the nephrons, it's a subtle one. You won't know. Because the blood pressure is the only thing you can check is that, okay, the blood pressure is high. That's why if you have anybody with high blood pressure, you tell them that low salt diet. Now, the funny thing is that salt diet is not just if you go and take salt. Now, if you look at your cereal, you can see the salt content and everything. Now, in a day, the salt, for example, I think the salt content, the concentration in a day should not exceed like 2.4 mg.
Especially because almost everything we consume contains salt.
Now, so that we can minimize the insult on the kidney, we reduce our salt intake. At least the one that we can know. So less spice diet, less salt in your stew. Some people will take stew. If you taste that stew, you will start scratching your tongue because the salt content of that stew is so high. You understand? So we need to regulate all these things so that we won't have a kidney damage.
What about diabetes? Because you also mentioned diabetes, doc.
Good. Now, diabetes itself. Now, there is a complication of diabetes that we need to understand, which is what they call diabetes nephropathy. It's still the same thing, the same process. When we have high salt content, or sugar content in the body, it damages these vessels. Are you getting it? Once these vessels are damaged, still the same mechanism. Once the vessels are damaged, the nephrons will be damaged. Once the nephrons are damaged, the kidney will be damaged. Like I said, it's not something that happens suddenly. It takes time.
Over time.
Takes time.
Doc, what should we do? Because there are some people now who have heard everything you have said and are going, the blood of Jesus. The blood.
Well,
so what should we do?
Okay, that's actually kind of simple. In short, preventive medicine is the most effective and pocket friendly. Now, if you have something like this, so if you have like a background of hypertension or probably diabetes, which you know, now you need to check your blood pressure normally. Now, if your blood pressure is higher than normal, we say that, okay, normal is on the average 120/80. Now, if it's now higher than normal, now Lagos is a stressful state. All of us is stressed in Lagos because when we start going up and down, you know what I'm saying?
Just waking up and thinking about going to work in Lagos is already.
You understand? So we need to keep tag on our blood pressure. Now, if you know that you have family history of blood pressure, probably diabetes, you need to make sure that you visit your GP regularly. Are you getting it? Now, when you have any of the symptoms that I spoke about earlier, about the risk factors, foaming urine, tiredness, and recurrent infection, probably recurrent disease, then you need to get to your doctor. Let them check you out. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are there, you are planning to insult your kidney more, I don't know, you should try and put your kidney health first.
So they should do regular blood pressure checks.
The regular diabetes check, blood sugar check. Then any small thing they have, if they have anything deviating from the normal in their body, they need to go to the hospital. This is not a time for you to start taking Advil or probably start taking herbal medication.
That is oh Lord, because that is what we are guilty of.
That's even another topic entirely, because most of these things they insult the kidney, because most of these herbs are actually herbal. They are alcohol they are nephrotoxic, meaning that they are toxic to the
kidneys. Really?
So if you don't know the composition you are taking in, so if you know if they just do an analysis of what people taking, you'll be shocked. So those
agbo that they take that contain that they think is cleansing the system.
It's not cleansing any system, because maybe it's actually eroding your nephron. Like
Lagos, are you listening?
Please, so don't take agbo. So if there are some over-the-counter medication also that people take that are nephrotoxic, because I'm having back pain, then the next thing they will do is that they will just go to the pharmacy beside, they will just take some NSAID and everything. Excess of this thing is actually nephrotoxic. Wow. So people don't know these things. I enter buses at times and you
see someone selling it.
Exactly.
Yeah, selling
and
them.
When they package it, then you'll be forced to even buy yourself, even though they have a medical degree. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting when you are inquisitive about your kidney, because preventive medicine on kidney it pays, because it's more expensive to manage a damaged kidney.
It is way more expensive, Doc. We are completely out of time, but Lagos, next week we're having trivia questions, okay? I will ask you questions. I hope you've been paying attention in class. Next week it will show whether you've been an attentive student or you have been an Olodo Rabata, okay? But Doc, what key takeaways would you like Lagos to know?
Okay,
so as we round off,
I want Lagosians to know something, which is the fact that when you have anything deviating from the normal, when you feel strange, it is not a time to just say, I'm not going anywhere. You don't know what it is. Get to your doctor, get to your practitioner, let them check you out, let them run the necessary tests. The test, when I order test, I pray it comes back negative, no matter how expensive it is. And just pray it comes back negative. Anything you feel in your body that is out of normal. And if you are diabetic, if you are hypertensive, trust me, you need to get them checked.
Oh, doctor, thank you so much. But we are completely out of time. Practical health tips with Avon HMO. Well, we'll come back next week. Until then, bye for now.